G'day, I'm Vaughan Blakey and I'm your host for today's episode of Surfing Australia TV. You beauty! We got a jam-packed show for you today as we take a look back at surfing's Olympic debut. Mick Fanning gives us the insight on twin fins, and we go to South Australia for the Hyundai Boardriders battle regional qualifier. You beauty, let's do that! Grommets. Once upon a time, they were just crow-peck fodder for old salties. Now, they're the future. Surfing Australia is all about fostering the country's best new talent. We're helping Groms learn to surf through the Woolworths SurfGroms program, introducing them to competitive surfing via the Woolworths Surfer Groms comps and supporting their progression to the Woolworths state and national titles. You can meet the best of the best Aussie juniors every week, right here on Surfing Australia TV.
Yeah, look, Bug Softboards is really, really stoked to collaborate with Woolworths, and it's great to have Woolworths come involved at this grassroots level, supporting Australian families. And surfing is such a popular thing now, and so many kids just want to be part of it, and it's a great collaboration. I'm really stoked.
Woolworths SurfGroms program is so important for so many reasons. Woolworths has really put together this incredible program that's giving young kids an opportunity to get to the beach, have a good time and compete, and you get to go and hang out with all these new kids. You're learning together and you never know where it'll take you. You could be a professional one day from it.
I started SurfGroms when I was 5 at one of the launching programs. Loved it ever since then. The coaches were amazing, they were so helpful, and because I was so young, there's some girl coaches, which was really good for me because I'm a girl, and I don't know, it feels so much more welcoming. I've eaten fresh and healthy, and I've eaten unhealthy, and it's so important to eat healthy because you just feel so much better for it. It's really important to keep the healthy, fresh food up and just have a healthy life from it.
I love mango, it just makes you feel so happy.
Maybe banana.
Mango.
Apples.
Probably pineapple.
A mandarin. I saw Remy do a hell nice fin bust. Probably Ace's bow.
There's so many to choose from. Everyone's ripping this weekend.
Normally some wheat bigs.
Watermelon.
Eat a mandarin.
Whatever's in the food bag.
Apple and carrot.
After the break, we head to South Australia for the Hyundai Boardriders battle regional qualifier. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Now it's time to head down to that core lord state of Australian surfing, South Australia, for the next round of the Hyundai Australian Boardriders Battle State Qualifiers, where we go behind the scenes with Seaforth Boardriders Club. Ew.
We started Seaforth Boardriders just over 25 years ago now. There was no local club in Seaforth, so we started that, and we've got all the good young kids, and then it's evolved now. We've got old boys, young guys. We've got a couple of guys who've made the WCT, being like Jared Housen and Dion Atkinson, and they've helped us a lot to get to the national finals. Look, the club probably, to be honest, we're just more focused about sticking together, surfing together, having fun together. I'm probably the biggest frother in the whole club. I just love it. It's not just a part of my sporting life, it's part of my family life, so we love it. Yeah, I think we've got what it takes to have a crack at the national final. We've been there plenty of times now. All our team's pretty experienced at competing against the big clubs. Obviously, you got the big famous clubs like Snapper Rocks, North Narrabeen and all the other ones, but we always seem to find a way to get through a few heats and do well. So we're down at Middleton Bay. The waves look fun. It's kind of cold and windy. South Coast and Boardriders have got a super strong team. They've both got some really strong young crew who are getting better every year, so it's scary. We actually came last in the first heat and we managed to scrape through the elimination, so into the final now. See how we go. It's super tight. I'm struggling to watch it, to be honest.
A little bit more here on Harry Green.
I'll be back in a minute.
So last of Seaford was a 6.4.
Oh, it's so good, so good. The only way you win is if everyone does well, and we were lucky enough to have our guys and girls all ripped, so we're stoked.
Oh, well done, Seaford. You've been a powerhouse club for a long time and you've proved it yet again. Right, let's keep the energy up and go profile an up-and-coming junior talent, Stella Green, as she competes in the Woolworths State Grommet titles at Duranbar Beach. Hey, Stella! Stella! Stella!
Hi, my name's Stella Green and I'm 13 years old and I surf for Boardriders. I love just competing naturally because it's fun just surfing, and I love doing the Woolworths Grom comps. Personally, it would mean a lot because I haven't won one in a while, and it would just be it would mean so much. The feeling of just going to Australian titles is so cool because you get to surf for your state and everyone can watch you, and it's just so fun.
Righto, well, welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. How you loving it, mate?
Good job, mate.
You legend. Righto, well, FCS have been the leaders in surfing hardware for a long, long time. And with collaborators like this next bloke, it's little wonder they never fail to deliver. It's in the area of fin design where they really dominate. So right now, let's take another look behind the curtain with three-time world champ, Mick Fanning.
I've been riding twins since I was a Grom, really. Twin fins, single fins. But it wasn't until sort of just recently that I just got right into twin fins, sort of like pretty much the start of the year. Without that middle fin, you've got more speed, it feels faster, it feels livelier under your feet, but you still have the drive with the two larger side fins. It's almost a different style of surfing to a thruster where you're guiding and then all of a sudden you'll just release a little bit and then you'll do something dynamic. So yeah, it's just a total different feeling to what we're used to on the thruster. These are the original H4s. As you can see, you got the sort of golf club, big base at the bottom, and then that golf club sort of tip, which sort of holds. If we did all three of these, it just felt like it was just holding too much. So that's why I came up with the shark tooth looking fin. And it sort of gives you a little bit more release out of the back tail. And then we started playing around with the quads. That as a quad is such a nice fin to ride, especially, you know, in tubing waves. It's so fast in the tube.
This is a place you've never been before.
This year was a big goal, was just trying to put some stuff together of just riding different equipment, trying new fins and trying to come up with a new feel. I was using, you know, different fins. I was using a Merrick fin, the Merrick twin, and then I was using MR twins, and sort of felt like there was something else out there that we could have gone with, and that's why we, brought the 84 technology into this. Like, you look at it, it's sort of pretty funny shape for a fin, but with the big base, you've got a lot of drive and you've got a lot of, you know, projection and stuff like that. And then with this golf club tip, you're going to get a lot of speed, a lot of drive, but then it's going to hold on that last sort of 10% of your turn, so you don't just spin out. Just the flex in the tip too sort of gives you a little bit more sort of spring throughout that end of the turns. The trailer was the trickier one. We were sort of like, oh, do we freak people out or do we just go pretty standard? And we just thought we'll have a little bit more hold, and so we just put the regular back fin in like that. And sometimes twin fins can release a little bit too much, where this setup feels like it just holds just enough. The side fins came really easily. It was something that we just, put them in and they just went in every board that I ever put them in. There was one board from Ryan Birch, and it was an ASIM twin fin pickle fork, and I rode it and it would just fit in places that twin fins normally wouldn't fit. Took that into DH and we sort of started looking at it, and we're trying to figure out why it was holding or why it would just felt like a normal board, and sort of took a few different concepts out of that, and DH put his own spin on it, and it didn't just come off straight away. Like, we started over here with this round tail, thinking a round tail would, like, you know, be super smooth but also hold a lot. Sort of found that with that round edge, it just didn't have any bite points. But probably the one concept that we went into was this deep concave, like a super deep concave. So it had plenty of speed, and then just sort of we're messing around with fin placements too. The next one, where we went to this crescent moon twin, we got the long straight rail which held that drive. The difference on this was that we rocketed it right out, and it was so bendy, and it would fit in places my normal shortboard wouldn't even fit. It was just like, just sit in the curve, and you could, you know, turn right in the arc of the wave. Gave him all this feedback, and then he came up with
this one.
This one. Look at that thing. You've done a good job on this one.
This is the first time I've done a project like this where the fin was designed first and then the board came after. And I knew FCS had done so much work when designing this fin and the dollars that would have gone into it. So I actually got this fin and actually thought, well, why don't we use it as the template for the moon shape? And that's where we've come up with this horseshoe tail, where we've used FCS's technology of making this fin. And the fin and the tail, the concave, the straighter in the rail, it all fits, and to see the surfing that Mick's been doing on this is unbelievable.
You're going to get a smooth ride, obviously, on a twin fin, but it's going to be loose off the back of your tail. But also, once you move that foot forward just that little bit, it's going to give you plenty of drive. And if you want to do like long arcing turns, or you want to drive up into the lip, you're going to get that hold. The other difference that you'll get is when you're coming around and doing that last hack, sometimes your twin fins will get to a certain point and then just pop out. These ones will hold and you'll be able to control that slide. Everyone's different, everyone sort of has what they're looking for in a fin. But for me, you know, there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of drive, and there's a lot of hold in this twin fin. Anyone who wants to ride that sort of fin, yeah, this fin's for you.
welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, back in July, the world of sport was laser focused on Tokyo and the Olympics as surfing made its Summer Games debut. While we all watched on as Owen Wright led the Irukandji's Australian surf team to its first ever medal, Surfing Australia TV had behind the scenes all access to the team in camp. Check out Inside the Irukandji's, hosted by Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew and Stace Galbraith.
Bugs, the first Olympics for surfing is done and dusted. What'd you make of it, mate?
Well, Stace, I mean, this was a true Olympic test of skill, endurance, fitness, the will to win, a true Olympic challenge. You know, this wasn't just like surfers going out riding pretty blue waves. This was brutal conditions on the last day. You know, the world's best surfers from all the nations, they acquitted themselves so well. It was such a showcase of surfing taken to the world. Let's break down the performances of the Australians throughout this historic Olympic Games.
Yeah, Bugs, there was a lot of awesome heats and some great grit shown by all the Aussies in all of their heats. Steph lost a close one to Bianca Batendag in round 3. No shame there, Bianca went on all the way to a silver medal. Sally had some great performances but eventually lost in the quarterfinals to Amuro Suzuki, who finished with the 3rd. Julian, in what will be his last heat for the foreseeable future, had an amazing battle with Gabriel Medina, and although he lost, Julian still showed what he's capable of in his last ride, chasing down a huge score, landing a big air. The judges didn't give him the nod. I think we did, but that's just the way it goes. And then obviously the story of the event for us is Owen Wright going all the way to a 3rd and taking home that bronze medal.
Yeah, Stace. I mean, I love the way Julian finished, that incredible rivalry, that fierce rivalry with Medina. He nearly got it. And Sally, you know, I really thought, I just said, you know, she's made for the Olympics. She's so made for the Olympics. Ever since she was a young child, looking up to Kathy Freeman. She was a great middle distance runner. I mean, you know what? Sally, she'll get a lot out of this. She'll be back for Paris. And Owen, he was right there with Italo all the way, the world champ. So he just, gosh, he nearly got there. And, you know, to bring home bronze, yes, we got a medal. Yeah, Owen.
For Australia.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, boys.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
How good is this?
So good,
So
mate.
good.
Wow.
Thanks for all the messages too, Bugs.
Oh, mate, what a stoker, mate. We're so proud of you, and you know, we rode with you all day. You know, your semi-final.
It's like nothing else, man. When that flag went up, I felt like all of Australia was right there with me, man. It felt super special. And I thought of all the surfers, all the messages that you guys sent in. It was amazing. I was crying.
Oh, wow, man. We were riding with you all the way, mate. You just did so well. You're up against, you know, Italo. You're up against, you know, Medina.
It was a true Aussie underdog story, I think.
So good, mate. Yeah, we're so proud of you. Well, you're going to have a great night tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone's pretty keen for a beer.
And you won't be you won't be handing that around too much, that medal.
I'm going to sleep with it on, man. It's too bad I'm not going back to Oz. There would be lots of celebrations if I was going back to Oz, but you know, on to the next events, mate. I still got so much work to do on tour.
Awesome, mate. Well, I know you got a press conference to go to. Thanks for sharing some time. We can feel your stoke and your vibe, and we're just as stoked. You know, we're just stoked for you and, you know, for Australia. Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much, guys. Man, I'm over the moon. It's such a surreal feeling. I know, you know, it's definitely the biggest moment in my career, and I felt like all of Australia was behind me. So thanks, legends.
We were.
Yeah,
mate.
dog. Love you, brother.
Yeah, mate. Love ya. You.
What a way to finish the show. The Big O reigned in bronze, the glory of bronze. Bring it home, the Irukandji surf team. Righto, that's it from me. Surfing Australia TV will be back next week.